Well, let's start with just a quick primer for those who don't know. Tell us really quickly what QAnon is.
Well, I'm hesitating because there's what the media has been saying it is and what I really think it is. So maybe I'll just say that the media has inaccurately portrayed it as a kooky conspiracy theory. And I think it's an authoritarian cult. And some of the ideology is very black and white, all or nothing, good versus evil. And Trump and his high-ranking Q person has been dropping these clues before the storm, which was supposed to happen already, and it hasn't. Then all of the traffickers and pedophiles are supposed to be purged from the government, etc. There's a whole conspiracy, big conspiracy ideology in it. But what I've learned, and I've done a lot of research on it now, and I have a number of blogs and even did a TEDx talk called Dismantling QAnon. It's on my freedomofmind.com website. But what we now know, and this is from tracking tweets all the way back to 2017 when the first one was dropped, that we're pretty sure a guy named Yafango was first involved as a goof on the Trump people. It later morphed to sell merchandise. Then the Russians got involved. And then later people like Watkins got involved. Schoenberger got involved. Michael Flynn, former head of DIA, was involved. William Binney, former intelligence, NSA intelligence person. So there's a whole bunch of American former intelligence people who were involved with this cult. And it's essentially best represented as a PSYOP, psychological operation. In fact, Flynn used to do PSYOPs on other countries, but he's been involved with the Christian right and doing it on Americans, unfortunately. And I think we're going to learn a lot more facts in the months ahead.
And as I've understood it, it's this idea that liberal politicians and celebrities and media people are all in cahoots,
with traffickers and pedophiles,
molesting children as pedophiles and sometimes even eating the babies. And then Donald Trump is going to be kind of this virtual savior who's going to come and rescue the children. Is that?
Yeah. So there's some old propaganda from actually Russia where supposedly the protocols of the elders of Zion was leaked, but it was propaganda, totally made up thing, blaming the Jews. And children are being killed and their blood are being used to make matzah or things like that. It's very dark. It's very disturbing. And what I just finished a book, John, by Craig Unger called Kompromat, with a K, Kompromat. It's a Russian term for blackmail. And in this book details about Russia's influence over Donald Trump, Donald Trump's involvement with Jeffrey Epstein, who was a trafficker of underage girls, the connection with Ghislaine Maxwell. So there's a lot of detailed factual information. And one thing that I put in my book, John, about the techniques of mind control that Donald Trump has been using is the technique of projection. So people think he's going to fight traffickers when he's the trafficker. He's blaming the other side for doing a coup when he was trying to do a coup. So if you understand a number of these techniques that I bring out in the Cult of Trump book, it makes so much more sense about why he did what he did. And one concept I do want to share briefly is something I learned in the research of the book. It's called fourth generation warfare, which is PSYOP, psychological warfare. It was first written about in the 80s by an American military strategist named William Lind, who then paired up with Paul Weyrich of the Christian right. And it's to delegitimize experts, delegitimize institutions, delegitimize science,
The media.
delegitimize facts, the media.
Yeah.
So it creates a state of confusion. Like, why is this happening? But that's exactly the state that mind controllers want to get people in, where they're confused. And then the confident voice, I know more than the generals. I know more than the economists. And then repeat it over and over and over and over again, where the mind of the average person goes, it must be true because he's the president and he keeps saying it over and over again. When in fact, they're lies.
And you have to create this environment of uncertainty, of confusion, almost of despair, so that then you can put yourself forward as the savior, so to speak.
Yep, it's and frankly, enemies of America want to see American power and prestige be diminished. So we have less of a presence in NATO. We have less of a say with global climate change policies, and it's very nefarious. And we really were close to losing our democracy. Fortunately, we have it still, but we need to clean house.
Yeah.
And when I say clean house, it means exit council all the extremists who think that they're being American by destroying the Constitution and the rule of law.